Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls of Guild and Coin. This is our 9th session this time round. Today I'm joined by Orc Daddy Julinak, as played by Reven.
Hello, it's me.
We're joined by our cannibalistic feline friend Trashstar, Trash Drawer, played by Duncan. Who has temporarily vanished. We're joined by the tiniest and most electrifying floof, Zoe Meowstrom, as played by Haley.
That's me.
We're joined by our enigmatic mage, Amrit, as played by Brenna.
Hello.
We are joined by no longer the murder machine, but now the mysterious vampire lady, as played by Bob.
Greetings.
Ooh. Like the vampire lady.
And last but not least, we are joined by another enigmatic being, the Argonian behemoth Zod, as played by Al.
I am Zod. I shall crush little people. Yeah.
You sound so bored about that.
You know,
Sound like a really toned down Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So,
Get to the chopper.
where we left off last night is our party has finally met Nysra and Zod. They have been reunited via Zod's Find Familiar spell with Pierre, the fancy mud crab, who has been sent off to scout ahead in these Dwemer ruins that are being dug up in the Rothgarian Mountains. You guys were just about to start heading further into the ruins when all of a sudden you came across 3 robed figures. One wearing robes decorated with spiderweb patterns, one wearing the traditional worm cult robes that you guys have become way more familiar with than you might necessarily like, and another robed figure wearing the Mages Guild robes. So, yeah. And before I forget, because I will forget, and then I'm going to feel horrible when I cough later, for those of you listening, I am recovering from having been sick this past week, so I do apologize for any sneezes, coughs, gags, or sniffles. So,
That
all
goes
that.
for the rest.
Yeah, there's, I think, more than one of us here who are all recovering from that nastiness.
I'm not
So-
sick, I'm just allergies.
But anyway, as I recall, the last thing you guys remembered seeing was one of the robed figures looking at the others going, well, shit, I was really hoping this wouldn't have to happen, and then they raised their staff. So I'd like you guys to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Alright.
See, I am just intrigued about the set of robes that we have, because that's a weird mixture. Ugh.
The creepy crawly gang.
Well, one of them's a mage.
Oh, that is weird.
Ooh, I rolled well. Okay. Ooh. Where's my phone?
So I've got an 11 for Zoe, 15 for Zod, 15 for Zod, 10 for Tashtar, 20 for Nysra. God damn it, Bob.
I rolled 19, and I have a 4.
21.
Gots to beats.
Which the best part about that is, we're the two who like to be in the back. We're like,
Much excited.
yeah, we go first to the back.
I also like to be in the back. And behold, I rolled low.
But it's
Surely
okay.
I will be
You're
safe.
in the back.
You're waking up, it's alright.
I am good and sleepy and ready to go back to bed.
It would probably help if I rolled a d20 instead of a d12.
Yeah, that might help.
Okay. All right, so Amrit, you see them lifting the staff, and you waste no time. What do you do?
Blast the fuck out of them.
I haven't gotten to use this the entire time I've been playing, so I really, really just want to fireball them.
Do it. None of us are
Fireball that.
That-
good.
They are in fireball formation.
Yup.
Yay!
Those dumb assholes came up in fireball formation and were like, "Oh, we're gonna start shit." Oh, really? You should have gone first.
Thought about that before
Nah,
being in fireball formation.
Nah, these squishy little ones are stupid. They clump together like worms.
Let me just find my fireball.
Fireball does 8d6.
I know, but I want to look at it. I wrote it for a reason.
120-foot range.
Made these notes and I'm gonna use them.
I wrote nothing on there, so.
Oh, no.
It's a D8, you
And
said?
it's 8d6.
8d6, okay.
Yes, 8.
They have to roll a dexterity save, if I remember correctly.
For half.
Do you remember correctly?
And it'll hit all 3 of them.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes. Dexterity saving throw, 20-foot radius sphere. Yes, 8d6.
And you
on a
can
failed
filter
save.
to where it does not hit any of your friends.
Okay.
What's the DC save?
My DC is 16.
Okay, so the cultist in spider robes fails. The cultist in worm robes fails. The Mages Guild member fails.
I feel like they're not the most dexterous of people, maybe. You know, they're used to being in the back.
Another dice. There we go. No, I has enough.
See, I always forget when I'm 66.
No, I want them to hear this.
Ow. Ow.
Okay, let's pair this shit.
This is why I'm glad I'm half deaf already.
23.
I'm already half deaf.
Did I add anything to it?
Nope.
Oh, no.
23 damage.
So, one of the cultists raises his staff, and all of a sudden, you guys are practically blinded by just this brilliant radiance of orange gold flame that bursts in the middle of the hallway. And when it finally dissipates, there's nothing left.
Did I burn all their stuff too?
Their stuff is burnt, with the exception of in 2 spots where they used to be. There are a couple of what appear to be emblems, like amulets.
Fire emblems?
And you can see charred remains of what looks like used to be bone.
Fun.
They had like no hit points.
They're mages. Of course they don't.
They are squishy boys.
These emblems, what are they?
One is an amulet that is in the shape of a spider, and the other one is an amulet that you recognize as a worm cult amulet.
Is it the same spider emblem as that we got off not Gilderoy Lockhart?
Yes.
Okay. So I already have one, and I know I have a worm cult amulet, so I'm good.
Question:
Okay.
Can you make a skill check without having any without it being clicked in 5e?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Can I make two or 3 history checks?
Sorry?
To see what they
How many? Yeah, the amulets. You said there was 3, right?
2.
Oh, so may I make 2
I am
history
taking
checks?
Yeah.
By the way.
Well, the first one was a 7, and the next one was 18.
Okay, so with the 7, it just looks like a fancy stylized spider. The second one, however, you've seen this throughout Tamriel. It seems to be growing in frequency at which you see people wearing this, but you do recognize it as the symbol of the worm cult. The same cult that is currently working for Manamarco and trying to draw Molag Bal's realm of Cold Harbor into Tamriel.
Great. The great Lord Cultist.
Yep, that's exactly how we feel.
You know, they're trying to destroy the world.
Yes.
And they're doing it in the bad way too. Not even in the fun one.
When did you get an accent?
I don't know. I don't know. I slipped into it without knowing.
Say, like, you just went full out Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I slipped
But
into it
just
without
very
noticing.
subtle. It's just a very subtle Terminator.
It sounds like an oxymoron.
I don't know what Todd's accent should be, so I just end up sliding around without meaning to.
Flying around because you're a
let-
lizard.
Let's just blame it on his charlatan background.
Okay.
So, yeah, now you don't hear any more cultists coming down the chamber because you're breathing them in right now. So,
You know what's great about that? I don't need to breathe.
So, just to be interesting, because Amrit would do this, Amrit would like to go over to where they were, find any ashes he could, and then put them in a bottle.
okay. You now have a bottle of mixed cultist ashes.
Question.
The ashes, Zoe falls out of your backpack.
Question. The staff that they were raising to attack us with, did that completely incinerate as well?
Yes.
It wasn't magical.
Pity.
And even if it was, like, destruction staves can be destroyed. So,
It is now on my character sheet.
Who's the active loved one? Oh no, I just blew these people up and I wanted their dead bodies.
Yep.
I just want your bodies. That's just it.
so Zoe,
Knowing Amrit, he will put it in a potion and then give it to you guys.
Oh no!
That's a little gross.
We'll do something with it. I'm just not
Tosh
sure
won't
what
care.
yet.
Make ink.
Ooh, ash. I like it.
You're welcome.
Zod is going to try to contact the mud crab he summoned with his Find Familiar spell.
yeah, you do have a
Mhm.
you do have a
Is it
telepathic communication.
Yeah, is it within 100 feet of me, or did the communication fail?
He's still within 100 feet. In fact, when you try to reach out to him with your mind, you find that he's been following this tube that he's in. Like, went in, then went up, and he's actually above you guys right now inside that pipe.
So I was gonna look up. Liver engineering is weird. Little crab is above us now.
We should.
Oh, wait, do we all looked up and like see the mud crab, or only you seen this?
Oh, we're not seeing shit. He's in a tube.
Yeah, Zod's able to know where Pierre is simply because of the telepathic link.
Mm.
We should keep moving.
All
Yeah.
right, let's do that.
Yep.
Do I need to re-roll my hide, or can I keep the one since we never went?
You can keep it.
Alright.
I destroyed them.
God sticks to the shadows, just slinking forward slowly,
Okay.
carefully.
So you guys begin walking further down this corridor. And quietly.
Yes, quietly.
Okay. Zoe,
That's me.
you have been in Amrit's bag. You like on your guys' trip out of Orsinium to head up here. You kind of got tired, and so you were able to get into Amrit's bag to kind of rest your little paws, and it was so comfy and so warm that you accidentally dozed off.
It wasn't an
Ye-
accident.
You woke up to the fireball.
So
So
I
yeah,
probably
to
have, like,
interrupt
very
my sleep.
super, and I just like peek out of the backpack, like, what happened? What's happening?
Go back
Yeah.
to sleep, kitten.
And then I imagine that I fell out of the backpack when Amrit was sweeping up all the ashes. Because he's a very tall man, and if he has to bend over to pick something off the ground, it means I'm falling out.
Yeah.
Probably.
Big pile of flute bow on the ground, and be like, where are we?
We are.
Zod's gonna
Don't worry
turn
about
and
it.
look at the
New
little
question.
cat
Where's
that
my backpack?
disappeared.
Where the fuck are my books? No wonder the backpack is heavier.
Ooh,
We are in
kitty, kitty.
Summer Ruins. We are achieving our goal.
What's that today?
I think we're what?
So
what?
do we have like an opportunity to talk to each other right now?
Yes.
Okay. Jonak wants to ask like Nysra. Is that how you spell it? Nysra?
Nysra.
Nestra. All right.
Nysra.
Jonak like asks Nestra. So where are you from?
Around.
Okay.
Oh,
Amrit,
Yes,
did I have you do a history check when you guys met Nysra?
No.
I would like you to do so.
that's not her real name, BT Dubs.
No, I know. In fact, you explicitly said last time when she introduced herself that she says, "You may call me Nysra."
Yes. I got a 17.
So, something seems a little off about her, and not the vampirism.
Glad you said
Um,
that.
Not that you notice, I have disguised self. Zoe does not notice and is very confused. Who is this tall, scary woman?
I mean, Amrit was able to piece together that Nysra was a vampire.
That's because
of
Josabra outed her.
yeah, Jasabra outed her, but it's something about her build. She looks kind of like a Breton, but leaning a little more toward the Nord, but not quite either.
Okay.
She's a half Northern.
Study fiercely.
And right now, her eyes are like a really soft blue. Oh, pretty. And she has this silvery white hair, and she wears a lot of black.
Hmm.
Well, who is this? So, yes, very confused.
This is Nysra.
Nysra.
She will be joining our group.
Oh, okay. Pick me up.
Pick you up and put you on my shoulders.
Oh, very spooky looking.
Oh no, that's
not even
when
me.
she's not disguising herself.
Oh goodness.
Yes, much,
Or I should show much spook.
much spook.
Much spooks.
Yes, much spooks.
Zod has just stayed in the shadows this entire time, just watching this little cat thing.
I assume that I don't notice because I just woke up and I'm focusing on the new person who is in plain sight of me.
Well, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is
A number.
what is it?
What's your perception?
11.
It'd be 11.
Yeah,
Eleven.
you haven't noticed Zod.
I'm just like I'm kind of curled around Emrit's neck, looking very curiously at Nysra.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have another new companion who has deigned himself to the shadows, and he will appear later.
Zoe's just like, what? What? Shadows what?
Yeah,
Just
they're-
looking around.
Their name is Zod, but you will meet him later. For now, we should keep moving.
God, another.
I agree. We need to keep going.
Oh wait, where's Zira?
Zira left.
She left without saying goodbye to me.
When you are summoned by your god, you leave. Oh,
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Don't worry.
Okay. But I'm not happy with her.
I pet Zoe and see like it's okay. She'll come back to us.
She has promised to write.
Good. But who will she send the letters to?
Me.
Nice.
Wait, how do
You're
you?
done.
Wait, are we here? Is Joey not carrying this conversation between them, or is it like kind of
Yeah.
distant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Oh, they're straight up just
Okay.
having this conversation.
That's true. But wait, how do you know? Like, how do you know about Lyra?
Because I was awake
And in the room.
and in the room.
I was very much asleep.
You were very much asleep.
In the room.
Oh, which reminds me, Zoe. I touch your toe beans. That is from Vera.
No, you were supposed to do it while she was sleeping.
I know.
Just like Zero used to do.
Yep.
Gentle
Aw.
stroke.
Why would she want you to touch my toe beans?
Zoe has no idea. Zero has a gentle touch, which is both awesome and horrifying for someone who's, a murder machine.
Murder. Are you ready for
Wh-
murder? Soft touch.
What is our goal here again? I totally forgot.
So initially, the goal was to find Ferrum Vermis, a
did?
worm cultist, who was marked by the Dark Brotherhood for death. However,
Lyra feels a tingly sensation wherever it is that she is. She's like, yes.
however, both of your Dark Brotherhood assassins are now gone. So the other goal that at least Amrit had was to find some Dwemer metal with which to make needles in exchange for the spider silk robes that he purchased.
Yes. Okay.
And to milk some spiders.
But there's no actual spiders around here.
Yeah, you did promise to milk some spiders.
Ew.
Yeah, if I came across spiders, but there's no actual spiders in the Drummer Ruin.
Yes, there is.
There's spiders
There
everywhere.
always is.
Spiders everywhere. You can never escape.
Emery, have you ever
Yeah.
spent any time in Dwemer Ruins?
Maybe? I don't know, have I?
I'm posing that question to you.
Ooh. I think probably. I've probably spent some time. Not a heck of a lot.
Okay.
I've
So,
probably read a lot of research papers too.
so this is like fairly the hall you're standing in is fairly standard for Dwemer Ruins. It's a large stone hallway that's kind of been ornately carved, with like almost like golden looking metal, kind of forming grates in certain areas from which steam kind of pours out. Here and there you see these tubes that kind of open out into the hallway. And on the walls there are also various carvings and paintings depicting scenes from Dwemer life. And overall it's just as impressive as any other Dwemer ruin that you've read about or seen.
Still taking notes.
Nysra,
Yes.
have you ever spent any time in any Dwemer ruins?
Question: were the Dwemer around before or after?
The Dwemer disappeared during the Merethic era, so I would say they probably had disappeared by the time you found yourself to be an immortal being wandering the continent of Tamriel.
Okay, I probably explored a few.
Okay.
I was a knowledge seeker prior to my particular affliction.
Yeah. This is a fairly typical Dwemer ruin. It's just like a lot of the other ones that you've seen. What kind of catches your eye, however, is it seems kind of odd that that this particular set of ruins would be this far west and this far north. A lot of the Dwemer ruins that you've seen have largely been in areas like Hammerfell. There were some in Western Skyrim. But you know that this isn't... there's no way that this particular installation could be part of the larger Dwemer community that was in Skyrim. There are a few others in other areas of the world as well, but still, this one just seems weirdly out of place.
Okay.
I
make note of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys begin walking down the hall, and it goes forward for a good 20, 30 feet before starting to descend down some stairs into a larger antechamber. And once you arrive in that antechamber, you are met by an absolutely amazing sight. And it goes from being your typical Dwemer ruin to being something altogether different from anything either of you have ever seen. You come out onto a balcony into a absolutely massive chasm. And into the sides of the walls of this huge expanse are built the different hallways and living spaces and such of the Dwemer. Here and there, columns have been carved into the stone and are supported by stylized. They look like metal automatons, even though they aren't. They're kind of like stylized supports. That are carved in the likeness of dwarven metal automatons holding up the ceiling. You guys can also hear more steam and mechanisms moving off in the distance, and a few bridges cross the chasm here and there. At the current moment in time, you can't really go right as the stairway to your right looks like it's kind of crumbled with time. But the stairway to your left does look like it goes further down onto an area of the canyon that's kind of been carved out into almost like a plaza. What do you guys do?
Question. You said the stairway to the left was basically corroded over with time, right?
The stairway to the right.
Oh, sorry, to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anywhere within 60 feet of where we're standing right now to the right there could support a person?
Not that you can see.
All right.
After a bit, to your guys' left and out of one of the little tubes that pop out into the walkway, you guys see Pierre kind of scuttle out.
Pierre! I grab Pierre and just put him on top of my shoulder.
He accepts. He's sitting there on your shoulder.
Yeah. And with the drink in like my hand.
Little crab, you have done well.
Well, the crabs do.
Zod summoned a familiar, and Pierre appeared.
Yeah, no, Zod comes out of the shadows just to greet Pierre.
Zoe, you see an absolutely massive humanoid crocodile come kind of like saunter out of the shadows.
Big poof! Big poof! What is that? Who is that?
Oh, right. You haven't met him yet.
Is this the person you said was hiding in the shadows? Yes. And you're wondering how you missed this.
Put him back in the shadows.
Just go back.
Question: Is there an occupied spot behind her?
An unoccupied spot?
Yes.
Is there an unoccupied spot behind Amrit? Is the real question.
Probably.
Is that spot in shadows or dim light?
Yes. I mean, the whole area isn't necessarily well lit. Here and there are some glowing lanterns.
Can you take bonus actions outside of combat?
Yes.
Okay, I disappear and reappear behind Amrit.
I do a big jump. I flail right off of Amrit.
I sense.
Joanak was like,
that
you
is
kind of like to
rude.
do that a lot.
That is rude. My name is Zod. I am not an it. Or that.
Or
I just
anything.
imagine Zoe on the ground, like big poof, and just talking so slow, and he's just like, why is he talking slow when he just did a fast action to startle me? What's happening?
I pick you up again and put you back on my shoulder.
He's in a safe spot. He's safe.
We both got like little pets on our shoulder now.
I'm not a pet. I'm a fancy friend. I'm a lazy
Well,
friend.
fancy friends.
Okay,
We
so
both got fancy friends on our shoulder.
So ahead of us, we've got the chasm with some bridges, and to the right is a broken staircase. Is there anything to the left?
Yes, a staircase down to a plaza.
Yeah.
Oh, the staircase leading down to the plaza? I missed that part. I apologize. Do we want to cross or do we want to go down?
I think there is only but one choice, seeing as glances to Zod. I don't think he'll quite fit on that stairway.
He should fit on the stairway.
The broken?
Oh, not the broken one, no.
Yes, the
I'm
only
talking
choice.
about the left one.
Yeah, the only choice is to go down. You can't cross. There's no cross.
We can't cross the bridge?
There's no bridge in front of us. There's a stairway and there's a broken stairway. That's all we got.
I'm against
Stairway it is then.
Okay, stairway it is.
Zod's just going to carry on a telepathic conversation with Pierre while they walk at this point. Little crab, did you find anything interesting?
It chitters. The overall impression you get is that the whole area is interesting to Pierre.
So useful. So much things
Hey,
to
it's
do on.
Pierre. He's special.
Special's a word for it.
Zod's going to reach into his bag and pull out a little strip of very dry, dark meat and just hold it out to Pierre.
Pierre happily takes it in his claws and just starts munching.
Aww.
Zod did say he would feed him.
Mm-hmm. Jeffrey would approve.
And I was like, feel like Pierre like just munching on my shoulder. Not on my shoulder, but like munching his little jerky on my shoulder.
The plaza you guys come down into is carved out of the side of the canyon, and you see more of those like metal contraptions kind of holding up the support columns. Here and there you see these large the metal looks like it's kind of looks like a gold brass kind of color. There are some stylized statues made out of that metal. Some of them looking like automatons, some of them carved into stylized likenesses of what you assume to have once been the Dwemer people. And here and there, some of these automatons and such are kind of glowing with crystals inside of them.
Slow gem.
Can we get the crystals? I want them.
And yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Are you pulling a Ratatouille and trying to steer Amrit over?
Joanak want to search for anything valuable.
Will you put my paw inside of there?
Chulinak.
Hmm?
Almost everything here is valuable.
Okay. But is there anything that stands out to me that look like it can be worth it?
Well, there are the glowing crystals. You can continue exploring if you'd like. If you'd like to do a perception check, you can.
Anything that's not bolted down.
I would like to do an investigation on one of the smaller statues that are glowing.
Okay. We'll start with Chilanek, and then we'll hop over to that investigation check.
All right.
Yeah. I just need to find my bunny room.
Oh God, why no?
Alright. Let's see.
I turned my
Ooh, an
headphones
18.
off. I made a mistake.
Perception. Wait, 18. I got a 20.
Okay. You do find kind of this ornate gold-looking chest. And when you go to kind of lift the lid, you find that it's locked, which, from your experience with thieving and heists and whatnot, you know that a locked chest contains something valuable.
Okay. That's a growing thing for lockpicking.
Do you have thieves' tools?
I do indeed.
And I believe you have proficiency with them. So go ahead and roll a dexterity check for me, adding your proficiency.
Ooh, okay. 30. Wait, in the dexterity, like agility or something?
Yeah.
In this one?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not playing D&D right now, Joshua. I got 16.
Okay. So we will hop back to you. Zod, your investigation check.
I rolled a 16.
Okay. So you walk over to what appears to be almost like a humanoid metal statue. However, where normally you would have 2 legs and feet, the torso ends up becoming kind of like jointed and goes down into this sphere-like shape. And as you're looking over it, it looks like it may be like a deactivated automaton-like structure. And inside it there is a glowing crystal. And from what you gather, from what you've seen, this looks like it's a soul gem.
Sleight of hand or thief's tool to remove the soul gem without destroying the statue.
I'll let you choose.
They have the same modifier, so. I rolled a 20.
For which one?
Thieves' tools.
Okay. So you reach into your pocket and pull out a small series of like little metal prods and almost like little they're like mini crowbars. And you kind of work with them a bit to kind of pry some of the metal away from the soul gem, and after a bit it kind of slips out of its casing, and you're able to catch it before it hits the floor, and the metal inside the automaton kind of springs back to where it initially was. When you do so, I would like you to make an agility saving throw.
Shit. No advantage, right?
No advantage.
14.
Instantly, the automaton folds in on itself to form a sphere, but your hand is currently caught inside of it, and it hurts like hell.
Got.
Well, are you invisible still?
No, he's not invisible.
Okay.
So his pain response is a little bit of a chuckle, and then just, well, fuck. Can he wiggle his fingers at all, or is his hand like fully encased?
It's fully encased. It's pretty jammed in there.
You make it sound like this is a normal Tuesday for him to just have his hands stuck and stuff.
It's a normal Tuesday.
That is a
Okay, what are you talking about?
An Argonian crocodile. This is not the worst situation he's ever saw himself in.
Are you saying they were worse situation?
Oh God, yes.
You got his foot stuck in something.
Chilinak,
Yes.
you said you got a 16 on your Thieves' Tools?
Hmm?
Okay, so you're able to successfully pick the lock. And when you go to open it, you find that there is this like metal scepter inside the chest. But when you open the chest, you guys begin to hear mechanical grinding and clanking as if something's been activated.
Son of a bitch.
And out of a few of those holes in the wall, you guys hear it sounds like the best description I could give is a giant metal marble rolling along a metal floor. And three sphere-like contraptions come flying out of those holes, roll around the general area for a bit before unfolding into one of those automatons that Zod currently has his hand stuck in, and they level crossbows at you guys. I would like you guys to roll initiative once again.
Okay, can I grab like the scepter and just like tuck it away somewhere?
When it's your turn.
Bitch.
Oh, dude, that fell off.
Whoops, wrong place.
Same.
I'm too enamored with seeing them move.
My dice are not liking me today, which that does not bode well for me.
You're not for an initiative.
That's because I have a +5.
Ah.
I'm glad I have a way to attack with just one hand.
This whole time, Nysra's just been watching you, like, oh, interesting. Gets his hand caught. Oh. Turns, looks over. Oh, crap.
Whoops.
Wait, real quick. What size soul gem is this that he pried out of this thing?
Give me a moment.
Okay.
A red one.
I would be wondering just what the hell that one is, but all right.
I have no idea. According to based off of the art, they look like they're red.
That's concept art from I believe Skyrim or Elder Scrolls Online.
Before the color.
Okay.
Okay, so first in the turn initiative is Jilinak.
Okay, I grabbed the scepter.
Okay.
And
okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Let's see. What can I do? Okay. I think. Well, the first thing I gotta do is unrelenting force. So I will do that.
Okay, so there are 3 of those spheres. 2 are kind of behind you guys near the stairwell that you came down from. And 1 is over by Amrit.
Okay. So wait, 2 are like by stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go for the ones that are by the stairs because I don't want to hit Amrit.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn my lesson on like not harming the other people with my force.
Oh, so
You
find
Amrit, you
Zira
hit me.
because she can take it, but don't hit the teeny elf boy.
I see how it is. Learning a lesson.
Okay.
Too late.
The one at the stairs.
Okay. So you head over and go ahead and Fusroda them.
Alright, what did I roll for that one?
Believe it acts like Thunderwave. So they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
And I don't remember what the DC on that. Oh, well, see, what's your spell save DC?
My spells. Wait, my spell what?
Your save DC.
Oh, my saving throw DC? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Where's my... Okay, where can I find that?
It should be on the 3rd page of your character sheet.
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, with all the magic stuff? Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Alright. So, let's see. So, bad news. Apparently, I didn't write it down.
It should be 8 plus your proficiency plus the relevant modifier.
8 plus proficiency plus your modifier.
For what you use to cast spells.
I think the system we're playing has it as 7. I'm checking, but
No, it's 8.
okay.
8 plus your proficiency, which right now is 3 for us. And then your modifier should be, if you're a monk, wisdom.
So for Dragon Shout save DCs, it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your willpower modifier.
Yep.
Okay, so 8 plus proficiency. Let's see. And 11. 13.
Okay. One succeeded, and the other one also succeeded. So they're not pushed back, but they're going to take half damage. So go ahead and roll 2d8.
All right. Let's see. 2 and 4.
Okay. So okay. All right. Next up in the turn order is Al, whose hand is currently trapped inside a deactivated construct.
Question: can I still teleport with my hand stuck inside this thing?
You can try.
Never mind. Zod's just going to move so the deactivated construct is between him and the other constructs.
Okay.
And then he's going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Which construct are you going to aim at?
He's high enough level he can aim at both.
There are 3.
I thought one went off the cliff.
No. They both succeeded on their saving throws.
I would just double down on the one that is pointing at the squishy.
Okay. So go ahead and throw your Eldritch Blasts.
Does the 18 hit? Or do you want me to roll both of them first?
18 does hit. And I believe it's 2 separate rolls for each blast. So go ahead and roll the other one.
Okay. Did the 12 hit?
A 12 does not.
Okay. The first one does 6 force damage.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, that's my turn. I shot. So
how much damage?
I said 6 force. It's 1d10, so
Oh.
I roll. Yeah, so it's 6 force to the one I hit.
Yeah, I didn't hear the number.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, neither did I. I just heard it does force damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was speaking loud enough for my mic to pick me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up are the spheres. So the one closest to Amrit, Amrit, you're close enough to see that one arm is a crossbow and the other arm is a blade. So as it's rolling past you, you see two kind of like black, almost ink-like bolts of magic fly past you and smack into it, before it then slashes at you with its blade. So the first slash is going to be an 11 versus your AC.
Oh, that actually does not hit. Yay!
Nice. And it comes back through with the follow through, and it's still not going to hit.
Okay.
So it goes to try to swing its arm blade, but the blasts from Zod's Eldritch Blast have kind of put it off kilter a little bit.
Okay.
The other two spheres are going to level their crossbows at Julenak. Since he went up and yelled at them. So the first one fires its crossbow, dealing 21 versus AC.
That will hit.
Okay.
God.
For 10 piercing damage.
Alright.
The other one is also going to fire at a 15 versus your AC. $15 versus your AC?
That will also hit, yeah.
Okay. So that will deal 12 piercing damage.
Yikes. Alright.
And then another, they both also have 2 more shots, but one's going to be sent out toward Nysra. Nysra, a 24 versus your AC?
Yes.
Okay.
That would even hit Zira.
Yeah. For 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then...
As a reaction, I Misty Step the fucks away.
Fair. The other bolt is going to go toward Tashtar. At an 11 versus AC.
That does not hit.
A metal bolt whizzes past you and embeds itself, in the wall with such force that you can practically feel it. These are not normal crossbows that you've ever come across. Next up in the turn order is Nysra.
Okay, so I got hit, then poofed to a safe location some distance away from these ballies.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anywhere I could move that if I were to do something equivalent to like a lightning would pull one of these assholes off a cliff if it was pulled towards me?
There is a ledge on the other side of the cliff. It looks like almost like a small causeway. What's the range of your Misty Step again?
60 feet.
60 feet? Okay, that's a bit too far. However, you were able to teleport yourself up onto a small platform above you guys, which kind of overlooks the area. So while you won't be able to pull them into the chasm, you'd still be able to pull it upward.
and then it would drop back down if it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. In that case, I am going to use one of my fancy vampire spells.
Ooh.
Yeah. I am going to use my vampiric grip.
Damn.
Yeah. It's très tasty.
I should make note that you're about 60 feet above them.
I'm 60 feet above them?
About 60 feet above, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Can't use vampiric grip. That one only has a 30-foot range. In that case, I guess I will use some Eldritch Blast since I'm up at the top.
Okay.
And they can't touch me. Am I at a spot where they wouldn't be able to necessarily shoot me if I were to move back?
You are not certain.
What if I crouched?
You're not certain.
Okay.
It's the platform you're on is only so wide.
Okay. I'm going to shoot the one that, whichever one looks like it would have the best advantage to shooting me while I'm up here on this platform.
That would be either of the two over by the stairwell.
Okay. I will shoot both of them because I have 2 bolts.
Okay.
1 to each. Does a 17 hit?
A 17 hits.
Okay, then both of them get shot with a bolt. Because my other roll was higher. Ooh. So one of them takes 12 points of damage, and the other one only takes.
One takes 12, the other one only takes
4.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
What time of day is it?
When you guys got into the ruins, it was starting to, it was kind of like evening going into night. Down here, everything looks dark.
Well, would it count for being in the hours between dusk and dawn?
I would say yes.
Okay, then add another 2 points to each of those.
Okay.
Get some power-ups?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nighttime power-ups.
Nighttime is the right time. And then I kind of move back against the wall of the platform that I'm on and crouch low to make it harder for them to shoot me.
Okay. What another thing I should ask, because we've seen Zira's Eldritch Blasts, and Zod's Eldritch Blast looks like there's some sort of like weird inky tentacle mass. What do Nysra's Eldritch Blasts look like?
Blood lances.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's edgy. Edgy AF.
All of her magic has either a kind of dark, shadowy wispiness to it, or some sort of creepy, like, thick blood kind of appearance.
I almost picture Nysra kind of like snapping her fingers when she goes to cast Eldritch Bolt, and when she does, she kind of cuts one of her fingertips to just bring up just the tiniest amount of blood to trigger that spell.
She has a ring that has on her thumb that has a little blade in it. That she probably uses just to nick her fingertip, and she flicks it in the direction of the thing she's attempting to attack.
I like it.
Not to shake her hand.
Only on one of the thumbs.
Oh no, which one?
Tashtar.
Yes.
It is your turn.
Quick question. Do I know that Zod is stuck?
You can make a perception check to see if you'd like. Because at the current moment, Zod's weirdly
Zod
difficult to
didn't seem
see.
make a-
Yeah, he
also
didn't.
seem to make a big deal of getting his hand stuck.
No,
so-
he didn't.
Uh, 9.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Okay.
Zod not puny man. Zod is large man. He's not worried about hand.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to Eldritch Blast and see if I can. Yeah.
Okay. Which one are you Eldritch blasting?
The one that fired at me.
Okay, so one of the two by the stairwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or squishies. By themselves.
I am the big strong.
However,
Oh,
the
it's
squishies are in lightning totem formation, so
Yes,
Ready.
as always.
Does a 14 hit?
a 14 does not hit.
The dice are not on my side today.
However, I would like to know what your Eldritch Blast looks like.
Well, if we're doing thematics, I'm not quite sure how cannibalism can be put into a blast.
Hungry, gaping maw of teeth.
That could work.
So many teeth.
All of the teeth.
So
I actually picture your Eldritch Blast not necessarily being a mouth flying out them, so much as like it legitimately looks like teeth that have been ripped out of a skull being thrown at these things.
That's better.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I'm just gonna hide behind something.
Okay. There is a pillar. There is a pillar nearby, the one that that Nysra is currently on. There's also a small alcove closer to you. That looks like inside of it there's almost like a little glowing crystal lamp. So either spot works.
I'm going to hide by the lamp.
Okay. So you duck into the little alcove for the lamp. Go ahead and do a stealth check for me.
Okay. If I mess this up, the dice are really not in my favor today. Well, I roll well when I don't necessarily need it. How does a 26 do?
You slip into the shadows below the glowing crystal. It's like your dice in the Monster of the Week game. Like half the time they like you, and half the time they hate you.
Yeah, I can't roll in the middle. It's always
Either crits or fails.
Next up is the lightning rod.
All right. So, how far away are the enemies from me?
You are occupying the same space as Amrit, so about 5 feet away.
Okay. I am going to witch bolt the closest one.
Okay.
Light it up.
They need to step off.
It's gonna get lit.
I rolled a 1. A natural 1. That's me. Rolling for witch bolt.
Okay. Amrit. Zoe stands on your shoulder, and like usual, her fur begins to stand on end and begins to crackle with electricity. And just when it seems like it's about to shoot forward at the automaton next to you, instead it's almost as if for a brief moment she lost focus, and instead the effects are kind of radiated around you guys. Zoe, go ahead and do damage for Witch Bolt, but it's going to be distributed between the two of you.
What did you do?
I messed up. I did a bad.
She tried to become Zapdos, but she forgot she's the wrong type.
She's actually a male type.
11 lightning damage.
So I probably take like 5,
Mm-hmm.
6, 1, 24.
Wonder if I have resistance to lightning damage. That's something I get. I do have a resistance, but I have no idea how much.
It just halves.
Oh, okay.
Resistance just means you take half.
Are we halving rounded up or rounded down?
How is the 11 points of lightning being distributed?
5 to each.
Okay.
Does this require a save at all?
Um,
Touching.
You're touching. It's just straight
Yeah.
through. It's like you tase someone while touching them.
But I want to read. Okay.
I did bad. Both the new people in the party.
They're
now
all
think I'm a
poopy.
noob. The 2 new people in the party are just like, oh, look at that noob. They're not good at anything except sleeping, I guess.
and
I
now
mean, this would probably just assume you're attempting to supercharge whatever the fuck you're doing, and made the misfortune of being attacked.
Oh no.
Brenna, you have a chance to save the appearance of you and Zoe. It's your turn.
Oh man. Okay.
Save
so
your reputation.
okay. So you
You're doing pretty
supercharged.
good at
You supercharged us.
trying to impress Nysra with your magical prowess. Amrit's form of seduction. Look at the magic I have.
I
I
studied
don't-
hard for this.
I don't have anything lightning. That's the problem.
Hey, just set shit on fire. Let's be real.
Let's just set everything on fire.
The
With everything.
The automaton in front of us is damaged, right?
Yes.
Ring a ding ding.
Ring a ding 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 ding.
Ring that bell.
It needs to make a willpower saving throw.
It got an unnatural 1.
Nice.
How do you get? Oh God. It has negatives, doesn't it?
Negative will.
Yeah, it has to get an unnatural one.
They're constructs, so
They're so ready to follow orders.
So they take 2 d12s. All right.
Nice.
Come here, d12.
Do it. Do better than me.
Oh, roll better, d12. No. 3 damage.
The first rolled a 2 and she's like, do better D12, and then it rolled a 1. Unlike the construct.
I don't think any of your dice are liking you today.
My d12 just doesn't like that I didn't take it out of the box.
Um,
They like being out of the box.
so Zod, you haven't seen this spell in effect. You hear the ringing of some sort of like distant death bell. And skeletal hands begin to come up out of the ground underneath the dwarven construct near Amrit. And they kind of scratch at it as it kind of continues rolling.
Metal is hard.
They see him rolling.
How do I miss hitting something metal with lightning?
Reven,
Yes.
your
Okay.
turn.
It is
Zod is-
my turn.
Zod is getting progressively more depressed as he watches this.
You're the one with
Excuse
the
you.
something.
Okay.
Stuck.
So
Not
I
stuck,
realized
they're stuck in there with
I've never tried this before. Even though I probably should. sooner or later, but I'm gonna go berserk.
Ooh.
But it says here, like, gain a temporary hit point equal to twice my character level plus endurance modifier. What is twice my character level?
16.
I think we're level
You're
8.
level 8.
Level 8?
Yeah,
16.
you're level 8, so it'd be
Yeah.
16 plus con mod.
Oh, okay, so 16 my endurance. 18. So
In the back of
Oh,
your
great.
mind, you begin to hear those drum beats, as if as if as if the god of the orcs is absolutely calling to you to go into that primal rage and fight with honor for the sake of Orsimer kind.
You getting called out.
What do you mean I'm getting called out? What am I getting called for?
Your own deities are like, dude, stop with this magic nonsense.
Basically, Malakath is empowering you.
Oh.
Go punch a motherfucker.
But I don't want to get rid of my drink, though, if I'm going to punch someone.
Oh, it's already been established that drink never leaves your hand. So
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
you must
true.
make sacrifices.
You punch so fast, you like let go of your drink and you go, and then you catch the drink again.
Yeah.
I think I actually have like a raining fist or something like that. Well,
No, you don't punch things, you just kick the shit out of them.
sure. I do, yeah.
Alright, so what do you do?
Power strikes.
So
Okay. So none of like the how close are like the little robot things?
The nearest one to you is the one over by Amrit and Zoe.
Okay. I go up to that one and smack it with my staff.
Okay.
It says
what?
I get advantage on like one attack too.
Yes,
so.
you do. Yes, you do.
Okay, so let's see. Well, I'm glad I have that advantage. 14.
14 does not hit.
Dang.
But as a monk, I believe you get more than one attack per turn, do you not?
Let's see, do I? Yeah.
You should have at least. You should have extra attack by now, so you'd have your main attack, a second main attack, and your offhand, assuming you're just gonna punch. So you should have 3 by 8th.
Okay. Oh yeah, I do. Extra attack on attack twice on turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With your offhand, you can punch them with that one as well, so that gives you 3.
That gives me 3 attack bonus?
You can give them a right and then a left and then another right.
Wait, which one are you looking at? Oh, in Power Strike.
No.
No.
Everybody, if you have a light weapon in your offhand, so let's say your main hand is your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a light weapon, or in a monk's case, nothing, because you can unarmed strike, in your other hand, or you could, I suppose, punch them with your cup. Like, I mean,
my cup is glass though, so I think it would break.
Yeah, but you get to attack with your offhand as well, as long as both weapons are light. And since you're doing unarmed strike, you get your main attack and your offhand. And since you have extra attack, you get a second main attack.
You also have Flurry of Blows, which
give you another 3,
which
I think.
Flurry of Blows enables you to spend a stamina point as a bonus action to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
I think that's for a different pass.
4 total.
No, that's for monk.
For monk in general, not for a different pass, because they all have like a bunch of different paths on.
Flurry of Blows, no matter what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll do Flurries of Blows.
Okay, so your so that would mean that you have a grand total of 4 more attacks that you can do.
Yeah.
Holy shit! All right. Immediately used in one turn. Okay, so immediately after. Alright, so I will do like the Furies of Blow and try to hit it with my staff again.
Okay.
Alright, so that I like roll for that, right?
Mhm.
Alright. Do I get advantage, right?
I don't think so. I think that was just for one attack.
Alright. We'll see. Because I didn't get a really good roll on that one. 9 plus 3. So that's 12.
Okay. That doesn't hit. So next
Okay.
attack.
Next attack? Alright. God, is there anything that I can't like miss or something? I'm sure. Maybe.
Just keep flailing wildly.
Yeah, I'll keep flailing wildly. Alright, one more try. The staff.
Eventually, you'll hit them.
That is a 17, so.
That hits.
Alright, cool. And what did I roll for damage on that one?
It would be your staff damage.
Oh yeah, that is. Alright. The 1d6. Alright, so that's 4 damage.
Okay. And I believe you have one more attack.
Oh, really? Alright, I hit it again.
Okay.
With the staff. Alright. That will not hit. I'm just saying that now.
Amrit and Zoe, you see Julinak do something you have never seen him do before. He starts yelling with this almost primal rage. And he just charges toward the automaton next to you. You see him toss his whiskey glass up in the air and start battering at this thing with his staff before catching the glass in his hand again. And you're pretty sure not a single drop of liquid came out of that cup.
Nice.
Um,
Suddenly feels a lot better about being a mage in this group.
I'm a little concerned when Zira walked away with her god. He's like, "Oh,
Shield.
my 4'2" meat shield. Where are you going?"
and Reven, I'm going to give you an inspiration point for that. Because Julinak is beginning to realize his full potential.
Monks can kick ass.
They really can. Yeah. So
Go for.
next up is Al.
I'm going to use my bonus action to try and teleport behind one of them.
Behind
They are
which one?
Which one looks the? Which one wouldn't put me in the line of oh god why from the other two?
Which one would put you in the line of?
Which one would make it where the other two have to turn around to shoot me? Basically,
that would be only if you were to teleport over onto the stairs.
Is that within 60 feet?
Yeah.
Is it within shadowy illumination?
Everything in here is shadowy illumination.
I'm just asking to make sure. So yeah, Zod shadow steps.
Okay. I don't think there's a roll that you have to make for shadow step.
Nope.
However,
Action. Oh no.
I would like you
attached to a thing.
I know.
I would like you to make an endurance saving throw.
Endurance.
You might lose a hand.
That's fine. I rolled a 12.
Okay, so you don't lose your hand, but you are going to take 3 slashing damage.
Okay.
And you shadow step over behind those two automatons with a loud clunk. And when you look down, you realize this thing's still stuck to you.
Oh, great. Great. Just great.
Beat him with it. Beat
him.
automatons with the one attached to your hand.
I don't have that much strength.
just smash him.
with automaton.
Smash him.
Well, this is,
You might as well. You now have an automa-fist.
this is going to be utterly aggravating. And I shake the fuck out of this thing. Does a 21 hit it?
Which one are you shanking?
The one I'm behind.
You're behind too. So.
Oh, the one on the left.
Okay. So go ahead and attack.
I asked, does the 21 hit it?
Yes, it does.
I do 8 slashing,
Okay.
and that's it. That's literally all I can do. I don't have 2 attacks.
Okay. So the sphere over by Amrit and Zoe and Julinak, you guys hear a loud like clanking noise as suddenly it drops down into a sphere, and it suddenly gets so much faster, and it moves kind of rolls around you guys in a large arc before undoing itself back into a humanoid figure, kind of between you guys and the two over by the stairwell. And it levels its crossbow at you guys. So first one is going to be toward Amri with a 19 versus AC.
That will hit.
Okay. You will take wrong die. You will take 11 piercing damage.
Oh.
Do I need to make an agility save to see if I fall off?
Sure.
Haley, don't you know better? Don't ask those things. Wait for the GM to tell you. 'Cause the answer will always be yes.
I got 12.
You managed to stay on.
A book.
Well, the answer isn't always yes, but in this case, it fits in well with what's going on. So.
I was gonna say, hey GM, do I need to roll for this? Usually it's yes, you do. And everybody else is like, damn it, why'd you ask that? Because then we all have to roll when that happens.
The second shot it's going to fire is going to be aimed at Julinak.
Oh shit.
For a 20 versus your AC.
That will
which
hit.
I believe hits, yeah. And it's going to deal 8 piercing damage to you. Because you've got those temporary hit points, instead of it coming off of your actual hit points, you're actually deducting those 8 damage from your temporary hit points.
Yeah.
The other two, one is going to start. One is going to level its crossbow upward, and it's going to try to shoot at Nysra. However, because was that up?
Sorry. Does that one provoke an attack of op since I'm behind it?
No.
Okay.
It is going to have disadvantage though because Nysra is higher up on a platform and crouched. So it misses with its first bolt. And how does an 11 do? I'm assuming not. Or not an 11, a 15. Bob?
Meow? Sorry.
How
What
does
did you
it?
say?
The second attack was a 15 versus your AC.
My AC is a 15.
Okay, defender wins.
And technically, I have cover.
Yeah, it was rolling with disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, it fired 2 at you, both with disadvantage. The first one missed, the second one matched. So, and then the third one, the one that that Al stabbed.
I am Zod. Al does not exist.
It whirls around with its blade to slash at you, Zod. So let's see, a 16 versus your AC.
Zod is hit. Oh, why?
Oh, what a world, what a world.
So that will be 13 slashing damage.
Oh no, Zod is taking damage.
Followed up by a 12 versus AC.
Zod spits at your pathetic attack. You missed.
Yeah.
What did you say the first damage was?
I already
12.
lost it.
What did you say? 12 or 13? I think you said 13.
Yeah, 13.
Okay. Alright. Oh wait, since I used my bonus, do I still have a reaction, or is a bonus consume reactions?
You can do your reaction.
Hellish Rebuke.
Ooh.
All over that face.
Fill us in on that one.
Hellish Rebuke, which is a level 1 spell, but I'm using it as a level 4 slot,
Mm-hmm.
is if you hit me, and it can be any kind of hit, as long as you're within 60 feet of me, I get to point a finger at you, and you're surrounded by hellish fire. You're allowed a dex save, or you take 2d10 fire damage on a fail save, or half as much on a successful save. Since I casted it as a level 4, that does
a lot of damage.
That does 5d10 fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's the spell save DC?
13 for a reflex. Well, I mean dex. Sorry, still doing 3.5.
It fails. So go ahead and. So
black inky flames.
I was going to say, like these like purplish black.
May I describe it?
Yes, you may.
You see, Zod just flicked the tip of his tail at this thing that just smacked him once and missed the second time, and the ground erupts in flaming, lashing black tentacles that smell of sulfur and death. That every time they whack it, it just leaves a black line that explodes into even more blackish purple flames.
Yes. So go ahead and roll your
32 damage.
32 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. These flames erupt, but they do more than just slashing at it. You actually, like, this is a horrifying sight, as basically it works its way into the body of the automaton, bursting out of where its eyes technically would be, where its ears technically would be, where its mouth technically would be. Then out of its back, like some sort of weird tentacle monster bursting out of it, and begins to shred it from the inside out, until there is nothing left but a heap of twisted, burning hot metal. And
Well.
on top of that, Nysra, what you see with your vampire eyes from where you're at is, as it's doing this, there's a bluish glow inside of it that suddenly starts getting brighter and brighter and brighter as it does this. And then, Zod, I need you to make an agility saving throw for me at disadvantage, since your hand is trapped in a heavy piece of automaton.
Ah, shit.
Nysra's just sitting up on top of her perch going, this will be interesting.
Zod does not move. Zod rolls 7.
Okay. However, the other automaton next to it did succeed. And so, Zod, you are going to take 10 force damage, and the other automaton is only going to take 5, as the soul gem inside explodes.
Zod does not care. Zod is cackling right now. Like that kind of demented cackle you get from someone who takes a little bit too much enjoyment out of their job.
All right. That was epic. So next up is Nysra.
Yeah, Hellish Rebuke is one of the best fuck you spells.
The reason I took it. Ew.
So we're down 1 automaton. Which one? They've all taken damage at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, the one fuckerings with Amrit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. If you have a spell that's cast at a bonus action, can you then cast a spell at a regular action?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to cast Hex on the automaton attacking Amrit.
Okay.
And give it disadvantage on its willpower.
Okay.
Because I'm just that mean. And then I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Oh.
Yes.
But mine looks like bats.
Okay, so it needs to make a willpower saving throw at disadvantage?
Yes, at disadvantage. Because I'm a horrible bitch.
So what's your spell save DC?
17.
Yeah, it does not succeed.
Because nighttime is the right time. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, as a swarm of bats erupts out of its insides, dripping some, like, coagulated blood.
Ew.
Preceded, of course, by the sound of a bell.
Yep. Soft church bell.
Or if you're a Danganronpa fan, ding dong, ding dong.
25. 24.
How much damage is this thing taking?
28.
28? What kind of damage?
Necrotic.
Ah. So...
Yeah, I believe both Hex and, yeah, they're both necrotic.
These poor constructs.
What normally would shred a creature from the inside out doesn't seem to do anything to it.
Okay.
You tried.
Epic spell, though.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, or was that all?
Nope, crouch back down.
Okay. Next up is Tashtar.
Okay. How close is the closest construct, and is anyone close to it?
The closest one to you is the one in the middle of the area you guys are fighting in, the one that moved away from Amrit, Zoe, and Julinak. No one is particularly close to it, but you're the closest.
Is it less than 60 feet?
It is less than 60 feet.
Okay, I'm going to cast a spell. This is a second level spell, but I'm going to cast it at 4th level.
Okay.
Shatter.
Tashdar, you're roboting real bad from you, man.
Oh.
Tashtar became GLaDOS.
Yeah, my internet's,
I know the pain, my friend. I know the pain.
Yeah. Did you hear what spell I was going to use, though?
Go ahead and repeat that.
Please.
GLaDOS, please still alive.
I'm going to cast Shatter.
Shatter. Okay.
That is a 10-foot radius within 60 feet of where I choose.
Okay.
Because it's 4th level, they're going to be taking 5d8 on a failed save. Constitution.
A failed constitution.
And because they're made of inorganic material, because they're constructs, correct?
That's true. So they'd
They
have disadvantage. Yeah. What's the spell save DC?
14.
14. Okay. It did not succeed, so go ahead and deal your damage.
I
Okay.
don't think these things can succeed in general.
Uh, 30 damage.
So what you guys because I'm assuming you're not moving out of the shadows to do this.
No.
You guys see the automaton in the middle of the area suddenly stop moving, even as the bats dissipate. And you guys hear what sounds like a ringing gong that just doesn't stop. And this automaton freezes in mid-motion, and it looks like it's beginning to vibrate incredibly fast. Enough so to the point where some of its parts actually shake off. And all that's left is kind of like the bare skeletal structure of it, holding the soul gem. Its crossbow actually shakes off as well, dropping to the floor with a loud clatter, before the ringing eventually dissipates. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Tash?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Lightning Rod, your turn.
So are there still enemies close to me?
The nearest one to you and Amrit is about 40-ish feet away, and is the one that suddenly started ringing like a gong.
Okay, so I'm gonna get off of Amrit
Mhm.
because I did bad and I electrocuted him and I'm ashamed. So I am then in range to continue doing Witch Bolt.
Okay.
This time I did good. Hit.
How much damage? Or how much versus its AC?
25.
25.
Oh yeah, that hits.
15 damage.
Okay. So you
I
say
redeemed myself.
your fur stands on end as you become a poof of electricity, and you point your claws forward at it, and the electricity just bolts clear over to where it's at. And luckily nobody is within 5 feet of it, because the soul gem bursts in that one, and it's just a pile of sparking metal.
You're like a little fuzzball.
No, I'm a big murder ball. Hooray!
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I shoot Amrit a grin like I did it.
Alrighty.
Good job.
And Amrit, there's only one active automaton left over by the stairwell near where Zod's at.
Okay. I told the dead it.
Okay.
He needs to make a save.
I'm trying to remember what the type of save was.
Oh, it's a willpower save.
And what's the spell save DC?
16.
It succeeds.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
I mean, nothing happened when I did 28 points of damage to it with my Toll the Dead, so
I'm gonna fake it.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
That's a bonus action, right?
no, Toll the Dead is an
That's
action.
a total action. Okay. I think since there's only one left, this is almost done. I'm gonna pull out my
You're gonna pull out your what?
my little notebook and start writing in it
Okay.
about like how they move and how they function.
All right.
Stepping
Raging,
Raging.
raving orcish machine. It's your turn.
All right. So the only one that's just like by the stairs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so. I have some darts, so maybe I can try throwing one. Or I don't know. Darts probably won't work, won't they? That's
Will
not
they?
gonna work. Will they?
Will they?
You could move over to it and beat it with your stick.
With my stick. It's a staff. Thank you very much.
Same difference.
Beat it.
I would prefer this to be finished soon. Zod 10 is still stuck, y'all.
Okay. I run up to this thing and just beat it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, as it is, you have 2 attacks plus an offhand bonus action. I believe since you spent 1 point of stamina for your previous flurry of blows, you're at 7 stamina points. So you could even spend another.
I'm actually at 6 because the food for the counts as the stamina.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you could even use another stamina point if you wanted to get flurry of blows. So that would put you at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks.
Oh, yes. All right, so I just rolled for the first one. That will not hit.
Okay.
So I got 4 more left.
Yeah.
14.
14 will not hit.
Dang. Nat 20.
Okay, that will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll double damage on that.
Yeah. All right, double damage. 10.
Nice.
Yeah. I smashed it like a soda can.
All right, and I think you have one more attack?
Oh, okay. Yeah. One more attack. Another nat 20.
Nice.
Wow. All right, so double attack again.
Yeah.
Mm. 14.
Very nice. So Zod, the raving orc just comes running. At first, you think he's running towards you, and then all of a sudden, whiskey glass goes up in the air, and all of a sudden, he's bashing on this automaton before catching the whiskey glass again. Not a single drop of liquor has been spilt.
I'm waiting for when one explodes next to him because he has a glass full of alcohol. Just saying.
All right. So, after having seen that, Zod, what do you do?
Zod must say, you are impressive for an orc. Though, I do believe I'm going to make them go boom.
Okay. Can I back away now?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, dang. All right.
Question: how close is this thing to the edge of the thing?
I'd say about 5 feet away from the edge.
Hmm.
Or not 5 feet, closer to like 2 feet.
I
Bull
want
rush
to use,
it!
I want to use booming blade on it.
Okay.
Do I need to explain what the spell does?
I'm pulling it up.
Booming blade is I attack with my melee weapon,
Yes.
and if they move, they explode.
Fair. So go ahead and attack.
Yep, I need to roll my attack. Attack. My Wasaski's. Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay. I do 7 slashing. If it moves, it now takes if it oh wait. It also takes the extra 1d8 of thunder damage to the target. Just because I'm at level I'm over level 5.
Okay.
The cantrip doing higher level stuff is still throwing me, so it takes me a second to find it. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Go ahead and roll the d8.
I did 1 thunder damage. And if it moves, it takes 2d8. Also, I use my bonus action to shadow step the fuck away.
Okay. Where are you shadow stepping to?
Back to my original position.
Okay. Go ahead and make
Roll
it.
a con.
Yeah.
I rolled a 7.
Okay. You are going to take 1 slashing damage, and sure enough, clunk. You're still stuck.
Not just looking at it like, I know I have an attractive personality, but this is ridiculous.
Okay. Next up is the sphere. And it sees Julinak right next to it. So it's going to drop down into ball form, and it's going to try to roll up the stairs. And it explodes.
You want me to roll the 2d8?
You don't need to.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying it. I'm gonna It's contained. It was in ball form. So it explodes from the inside.
Yep. Julinak, I'd like you to make a quick dexterity saving throw for me.
Okay. Let's
I
see.
didn't think it had that big of a radius of a boom. So 2d8 thunder. I have lightning powers.
Oh no, it's not your boom. It's the soul gem.
I know. I was saying
I got 14 for that.
Trying to steal
Okay,
my gimmick with lightning powers.
You succeeded on that saving throw, so you're only going to take 5 force damage.
All right.
So
I think you still have temporary hit points.
Yeah.
so-
I am so. Yeah.
Todd's gonna look at that soul gem he pried out of the construct that's still stuck to his hand and just wonder out loud. So these things explode, right?
Yes.
Why hasn't anyone ever used these things as explosives?
Because they're expensive.
They're super expensive.
However,
Like, why don't people-
Amrit,
Yes.
your time on the front, however, in fact,
Oh god.
I would like you to make a willpower saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Because there was an explosion.
There have been 3 explosions within really close time of one another.
Okay, luckily I'm proficient in willpower saving throws. Ooh, that was not good. That was better. 11 would be my bottom one.
You're no longer standing in a Dwemer ruin.
Okay.
You are out in the middle of a desert. And there is combat going on all around you. Spells are being cast left and right. You can hear the clashing of swords and other bladed weapons as Red Guards, Bretons, Orcs, as well as Wood Elves and High Elves and Khajiit are all absolutely going at one another. And looking out over the battlefield from where you're at, you see these large flaming stones being hurled over the battlefield toward the battlements where you're at, where your camp has where your army's camp has been set up as kind of like that little almost like a makeshift fort as you guys are trying to assault a nearby city. And something looks off about these huge balls being lobbed by trebuchets. Instead of flame like you typically have seen with them, these flames are glowing slightly blue in the center. And all of a sudden, 3 hit in close proximity of one another where you're at, and they detonate with such immense force that it rocks the earth around you. And surrounding you is a whole bunch of your own fellow soldiers. Some of them have absolutely been torn to shreds, and there's no way they're alive anymore. A couple of them are kind of laying on the ground, crying out in pain as their insides are splayed around their outsides. And one person even walks up to you with just this glazed look in his eye as he's just trying so hard to push his lung back into his chest. You guys, after that final sphere detonated, you just see Amrit standing there, and the notebook and quill that he's holding drop out of his hands. And he looks as if he's miles away. Amrit, how do you interact with this soldier who's kind of like coming up to you for help?
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Amrit,
what do you do?
I mean, there's no way I can put his lung back in, right?
No, there isn't.
Oh, shit. Okay,
in fact, you're pretty sure that the only thing keeping him moving right now is adrenaline.
Okay. I think I just kind of look at him with like a sad, freaked out expression and just whisper, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
Yeah, you guys see him standing there going, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." And after a bit, he kind of crumples to the floor. And you guys aren't sure what exactly is going on with Amrit. You've never seen him behave this way.
Has Nysra seen people act this way?
Yes.
Okay, so she's just like,
Joanette goes up to Amrit and kind of like shakes him, like, "Hey, snap out of it."
If I'm cognizant of someone touching me, I probably just freak out more.
Yes.
Zoe's going to waddle on over there and be like, "I'm sorry, I electrocuted you." You
okay? So Nysra just appears kind of behind where he's crouched on the ground in his like fetal position rocking state.
Mm-hmm.
And she reaches into her bag. I assume she has Well, I mean, she's proficient with herbalism and whatnot, so I'm assuming she'll have some on her. Kind of like smelling salt.
Yeah. I'd say she probably
Like
has
blow in
lavender.
his face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you probably have some
something
lavender
to-
smelling salts.
Yeah, something to kind of snap him back to reality. And she just like opens her little pouch and like wafts it in front of his neck. And whispers quietly to him, "You're in a different time. Return to us now."
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine
and she
check
does
at
it in
advantage.
Old Maris.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a medicine check at advantage.
Ooh, nat 20.
Oh, nice.
So
Whoa.
a 24.
Emery, the smell of lavender kind of floods your nose, and you're back in the Dwemer ruins with like half of your party all surrounding you and a bag of salt being kind of waved in front of your face.
Okay. I probably look around, double check that I don't have tears in my face.
You totally do.
And pick up my then talk about it.
Zod would have helped Squishy one, but Zod is still kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Speaking of
don't
which,
care
does
right
Zod
now.
want any assistance getting out of there? Because I can get him out of there with or without his hand.
Zod would prefer to keep hand. It is hard to find replacements.
Nysra then offers you like kind of like sweet.
I will take it and say thank you very quietly.
Wait.
Zoe's going to rub her face against like your leg, your arm, whatever's available.
Thank you, Zoe. I scratch your head.
I'm sorry.
Aww. I put Joanek will put like his hand on your shoulder and just like, you alright, man?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you
Thank you.
sure? You want a drink?
Yes, I want a drink.
Alright, I pull out an extra glass out of my bag and just hand it to you and pour it in for like some in your hand. I keep a few extras.
Thank
just
you.
in case.
Just in case.
Hey, would it be acrobatics to get my hand out?
I can get him out of there. I can get you out of there like right now without any checks.
I would prefer to keep my hand.
I can have it with your hand as well.
All right.
Cast Gaseous Form on Zod.
Okay. Zod, you feel like this weird lurching feeling for a brief moment, and then next thing you know, you're standing next to the sphere, only your hand is no longer trapped inside of it. It's cut up. It's cut up pretty bad, but it's intact.
What question? Does gaseous form leave me in a humanoid form, or do I get to turn into a cloud?
You turn into a cloud.
Right. So I am a bright, well, not bright green, but blackish green ball with little tentacles coming off of it, just floating there. I still have clearly a set of arms, legs, and tail, but there's a lot of tentacles. This is interesting.
And then you slowly congeal back into your normal form.
And you get seasick because this is the first time you've ever done that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna roll. I'm actually gonna go with that one too. But
Do so with advantage.
There's like that brief moment where you're like, my
21.
upside down,
Why
literally.
couldn't I do this before?
It just reminds you of that rocking motion you get when swimming in the surf. Amory, one thing you oddly notice is that despite your shaking, not a single drop spills out of the glass.
The glasses are magical.
Yes, they are.
It has nothing to do with Jillinak's skill. It's the cup.
Zod's going to. What? God damn it. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
You might want to be. Wait, can a high elf handle like orcish rum or like whiskey?
Yeah.
At the moment, I really don't care. You could give me something someone else made, and I'd drink it.
Something what?
Something our old Argonian made, and I'd still drink it.
No, don't ever drink whatever he made.
Right now, I would drink it.
No, he'd probably still put a toe in it.
So you guys do have some time here if you'd like to rummage through any of the remains of the automatons, or if you want to take a look at if there's anything else left in that chest, to patch up wounds if you'd like.
Are made out of Dwemer metal, yes?
Yes, they are.
Is there salvageable pieces of this?
There are some salvageable pieces, yes. The one catch, though, you notice, is that they're actually pretty decently heavy. So you might want to...
a piece big enough to be melted down and made into a needle, yeah? For Amrit?
Yes.
Couple needles.
Oh shit, armor. Oh god.
So like one nice good piece of drummer metal should do it.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Michaela.
Yeah, you find a piece of Dwemer metal that's a pretty decent size. It's good enough to be able to make several needles with some metal left over.
That should do it.
Zod is going to ask. Did Zod see you opening up the chest, or like have you informed anyone you opened up the chest, or do we just think we got attacked?
I honestly have no idea.
That he opened up the chest?
Mm-hmm.
Because her passive perception is 21.
Oh my god. If she mentions that, Zod will offer to identify the rod.
That didn't sound right.
Yeah,
It was meant not to sound right.
And she looks over at Jelinek and she says, "May I see what you found in the box?"
What was it that I found in the box again? It was like a spear or something?
It was like...
It was a staff.
It was like a short scepter, with a red glowing crystal on the end of it. The shaft of the scepter is made out of the same kind of metal that the automatons were made out of. And there are Dwemer runes kind of etched into the shaft.
Okay. 12.
Are you showing it to anyone else?
I can show it to Nest, or who's talking to me, Nestra or Amrit?
Nysra.
Nysra had asked to see the staff.
I mean,
and did Amrit.
I want to keep it for myself, but if you can see what it's due, yeah.
Well, I wanted to see if it was magical or not.
Yeah. All right, I hand it to you, and you can take a look at it and see what it does.
Okay. Nysra, do you happen to speak Dwemer?
Josh never told me what other dead language I possibly, so I don't know.
You wouldn't know how to speak Dwemer.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I want to take notes, but I can do that later.
Yeah.
You're just looking over her shoulder and just like taking like notes.
Yeah. So later, I want to take an impression of this scepter so that I can get some Dwemer writing down.
Yeah.
But for now, I want to cast detect magic.
It is so magical.
Okay. What school of magic is it?
Interesting question. Give me a moment.
Okay. Exactly. That is.
I scrolled too far.
Scroll too far and get that there.
I scrolled way too far.
Amrit is still kind of shaking, but working on something is helping him focus. So it's kind of settling a little, and the drink definitely helped a little.
Aw.
And he hands you back the glass before he pockets it accidentally.
Okay. Joanak pat your shoulder again, like, you still feeling good, man?
It's part of the mysticism school of magic.
Ooh. Ooh, I cast Identify.
Now, what does it do?
What does it do?
It seems like it might be able to impose some sort of control over some kind of automaton.
Ooh.
Okay. Julinek.
Yeah.
This controls one of the automatons. I don't know what kind.
All
So
right.
it would be useful in our further depths into the Dwemer ruin.
I mean, I would imagine I've seen bigger.
Zod's been casting Mage Hand this entire time while this has been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just to pluck the soul gems out of the rest of them, because thanks to his class, he can use Mage Hand as his normal hands. So he's able to use his Thieves' Tools through his Mage Hand. So how many do I need to roll? How many glowing statues are there?
Oh, they're all exploded.
All of them?
The active ones nearby, yes.
I thought we still had glowing statues. Oh
No,
well.
if that was the nearest one. You can see, looking out over the chasm, that there are others out there.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood on that one.
Yeah. However, as you're rummaging through the pieces of automatons, you are able to one of them actually still has an intact crossbow.
Oh.
You can inspect it if you'd like.
Alright. Investigation roll with that one?
No. You're familiar enough with ranged weapons. This is a very hardy crossbow. Like, it's the equivalent of a heavy crossbow. And you're pretty sure that it's able to do a lot more damage than a standard crossbow would be able to do. So while it's a heavy weapon, like a heavy ranged weapon, it is nifty. It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of a +2 heavy crossbow.
I have no idea what that is in 5e. I know what that is in 3.5 terms, but not 5e.
Pretty much the same.
Okay.
+2 attack and damage.
Okay. So Zod's gonna look it over for a few minutes. Play with the string. Pull it back. Wait, does he even have the strength to pull it back?
Go ahead and do a strength check.
Oh God. 14.
Was that your dump stat?
Yes. I have a 10 in strength. I have a 7 in wisdom, though.
You strain yourself a little bit, but you are able to pull it back into place. And it's
Wait. Zod has a 10 in strength?
Yeah.
So the 5'11 Gothic Chica
is stronger than him, yes.
But you're like twice, no, probably like 4 times her weight.
Yep.
I mean...
the tiny cat is stronger than you.
I went full alligator with this. He has a bunch of bite force, but he has no lifting power.
That is a buff kitty.
The tiny one you called, the tiny orc you just called, is also stronger than you.
Yeah, but the tiny, like 3 foot tall cat has a higher strength.
That's true.
What's a cat?
Gotta hold all the stuff. I want it.
So
No, I didn't need a high strength score. I went with what I felt best for this character, and that was high int, high det.
Hey, Josh,
Hmm?
the glowing gem on the end of the scepter thingy,
Mhm.
is it? I assume it's a soul gem.
No,
No, it's not. Okay.
Ooh.
Do I know what it is?
it's an arcane focus of some kind.
Oh, and it's perfectly charged. It doesn't need anything.
Pretty much.
Cool.
It does look like there's a series of runes on it that you can run your finger over in order to activate the scepter.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, it's the magic in it is passive.
Okay. Are we gonna be here for a couple minutes, guys?
What purpose did you find in the cavern? The men are dead, which I assume was
Well,
of possible interest.
there is a expedition that I believe was having some sort of problem with monsters or machines. I don't remember which.
They were
And
having a dig here.
yeah, they were having a dig, but the dig was having problems of some form that they needed adventurers to help out with.
Spiders.
No,
No?
no.
Oh, I remember volunteering us for that. Okay.
No, they said that there was a dig, and then there was spiders past the dig, or something like that. I think.
You'd promised to get the needles. You had also promised to obtain some spider silk.
I had said if I came across spiders.
Yeah. But other than that, the only goal in here was for the Dark Brotherhood contracts.
Oh.
And
kinda want-
nobody in the party is part of the Dark Brotherhood.
Again,
Don's
here gets that tingly sensation.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
gonna raise a hand and just ask, since the expedition is probably dead. Like, since the expedition is probably dead, and the cultists are dead, and the machines are going to be dead at some point.
Well, that was only 3 people. I don't think the expedition is just 3 people.
We can get rid of. I mean, we can convince them to leave. Why don't we take this city for ours?
What? No, that's not how Drummer Ruins work.
Yes, that is how doing the ruins work. It's finders keepers, or whoever can kill the most people.
Okay, well,
And she has this little squishy cat fur has a rod of controlling those things. So he has the most claim on the city now.
that's okay. That's not. Ah! Okay, well, I have the medal that I came here for, so if you guys want to go, then we can go. But it's nighttime, I believe, outside, and we don't want to be caught inside a snowstorm in the middle of the night.
Emery,
So,
So you just want to like chill out and have a campfire?
Emery
But
and
we
Nysra.
or more.
Yes.
What are your guys? Well, I know Nysra's passive perception. Emery, what's your passive perception?
18.
So you guys, as you're talking, your attention is kind of drawn to the painting on the wall behind the crystal lamp that Tashtar had initially hid behind. And what you see is a depiction of a colossal automaton.
Oh, God.
And the description for it, or the like way it's depicted, only matches the description of one legend in your guys' minds, one that appears repeatedly in Dwemer lore, and that is that of the Numidium.
Numidium?
The Numidium. If you guys would like, you can go ahead and make history checks.
All of us, or just those two?
Just those two, because they're the ones who've noticed it.
Nat 20 for a 25.
18 plus 8 is 26.
Okay. You
See, I
guys
don't have as high of an intelligence.
Yes.
You guys both remember that, according to legend, the Dwemer were trying to create a clockwork god. Because they kind of shunned religion, they shunned worship of the Aedra and the Daedra, seeing it as something that was kind of ridiculous. And they honed their skill at technological and magical prowess. And it was and it's believed that it was their attempts to create like this clockwork god, as it were, that might have led to the disappearance of the Dwemer. Might have, not sure.
Suddenly got a lot more interesting.
And if this depiction on the wall is any indication, the Numidium might be here.
Excited.
And Amrit,
Yes.
you begin to put things together. Now you know why there are 2 separate cults as well as the Mages Guild here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
They
sense.
all want this ish.
Okay, we have to stay
But
down
what
here.
bothers me is that 2 separate cults were working together, seemingly, with the Mages Guild.
Mm-hmm.
We need to purge the Mage College. Just take over all the fucking colleges. We can do it.
No. Settle down, Zod. Settle down.
There's no way Zod can ever settle down. Have you like met this fool for like the past 2 sessions?
Okay, so
or 2 including now.
Zod is perfectly collective and calm.
So Amrit stares at this picture for a solid minute, gears turning, and then suddenly gets a very excited expression on her face, like very excited, and just turns back of the way toward deeper into the ruin. Starts walking. I am. I'm so excited. My nerdgasm is giant.
Nysra just stares at the group, like just kind of studies them for a moment, and kind of has that look like maybe perhaps she had judged them incorrectly. And it's a hint of
Judge them incorrectly for the better or for the worse?
For the worst.
For the worse.
Yeah, I was about to say, knowing us, it could be either easily.
Does anybody need some healing before I go spelunking?
Wait.
God raises bloodied, shredded hands.
Nysra turns and looks at you with a smile, and she's, "Are you offering?"
Slow turn. Intrigued. Yes.
So wait, after I come back from like my berserk, am I still at like the temporary hit point, or do I like